esteemed Governor General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, I crave your indulgence in the interest of time to adopt the protocol so ably laid by the Chair Lady. Save and accept, I must acknowledge the distinguished presence of the members of the Cabinet of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular to recognize our Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Sean Richards. Could we give him a special hand of welcome? Our Senior Minister, the Honorable Vance Amory and Mrs. Amory, could we give them too a special hand of welcome? The Honorable Lindsay Grant and Mrs. Grant, could we give them a special hand of welcome? The Honorable Ian Patridge Liebert, could we give him a special hand of welcome? We want to recognize the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable Senator Akila Byron Nisbet and Mr. Nisbet. And help me, of course, also extend warmest welcome to the excellencies of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, those from St. Kitts and Nevis, our representatives, and those representing other countries and institutions. Let's give them all a special hand of welcome. And I want to recognize here too the presence of several of our outstanding artists who perform and won the particular competition in which they participated. Could we give them a special hand of welcome and thank them for being here? Tonight, of course, is a very auspicious occasion. We are here celebrating, in my view, the success of the people's endeavors to bring change for the benefit of their lives. Their hopes and aspirations were captured in the vision and policy outlined in our contract with the people. That is our Team Unity Manifesto for the 2015 general elections. Our people across the political divide appreciated that only a unified effort could bring a winning solution to the problems which our country faced then. Thankfully, on September 26, 2013, the leaders of the three political parties came together at Greenland's Pasha, and before one of the largest political crowds in our history, we declared that we were together as one to advance the prosperity and good governance agenda for all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. In keeping with that popular expression, the leaders indicated that they would give support to me to lead the movement unto victory. The rest, of course, is history. And for this we can all say, to God we give the glory. For my part, I will always be grateful for the people who found favor in my ability to lead our country. I had never envisaged for myself that I would be more than an ordinary citizen, wanting to do the very best I can for my family, my community, and country. Growing up in the village of Tabernacle, 10 miles northeast of Basseterre, I first wanted to become a teacher and then a lawyer. My career path, of course, never did follow that organized trajectory. Today, with the support of the people and with the favor of Almighty God, who is the source of all authority, I am humbled to reflect on my own successful journey spanning some 26 years of parliamentary service and 22 years as a minister in the federal government. I am honored that for the last 4+ years, I have been serving as the Prime Minister of our great Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I am the third child Thank you. I am the third child of Margaret Harris of Tabernacle, now deceased, and one of the 33 children of Godfrey Nisbet of Cotton Ground in Nevis. That I, from humble beginnings, rose to the high office of Prime Minister indicates that there is no limit to our accomplishment. I say thank you to all who have helped me in any way and pledge to serve the country one more term as Prime Minister. Let me say a special thank you to you, the people, and in particular, the people of constituency number 7, who in every general election from 1993 to 2015 stood faithfully and loyally with me. Give the people of number 7 a round of applause. They will always live in my heart. To my loving family, friends, colleagues, and well-wishers, thank you for being there for me. And to all the public servants whose work added value to my service as a minister and to the country generally, I say thank you. The journey has always been about what we can do as a team, each one individually and collectively working for the good of the nation. We have lived this. We have come together as a united team, not working for self, nor individual party, but for the people and the country as a whole. We give substance and credence to our country's motto, country above self. Leading a diverse group of individuals is never easy, and yet that's what leadership and success demand of us at such a time like this. As a whole, our country has moved ahead successfully in many areas. However, there is still much work to be done. My cabinet and I shall continue to do the people's work. In our first term, we have done so much for so many persons. We remain confident that our fair-minded citizens and residents know that this Team Unity administration, on account of our outstanding performance, is deserving of another term. Our Team Unity leadership went through 4 phases, which the Honorable Jean Hamilton likes often to speak about. Do you remember them, Jean? And we have worked well in the name of the people. We come together at the dawn of a new year and a new decade. Our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis has every reason to be confident that the 2020s can be our best years. This is our time to continue the forward movement of our country and people. This is not the time for self-doubt or going back to that which we rejected in February 2015. Tonight, we further that journey to build a stronger and safer future for all of us. On the Team Unity, there are safer streets, and I want to commend our Commissioner of Police for his leadership over the last year or so that has seen the most dramatic reduction in violent crimes in the country. And we ended last year with a 48% reduction in homicides in our country. Commissioner Brandy, could you stand? We want to thank him, of course, for his outstanding leadership. The success of our home ownership program comes quickly to mind, and the Honorable Jean Hamilton likes to remind us that the houses on the Unity are now bigger and better. More jobs and more opportunities are being made available for our young people and indeed for all people. whether it's our construction of a modern cruise pier facility or the government's end-of-year bonus in the form of a double salary for civil servants, and we have done that 4 years in a row. And we have done that without borrowing 1 cent from any bank or any individual for that matter. Our federation clearly is headed in the right direction. There was a time when our future did not look so bright. It was dim and did not carry much hope, especially for young people. For too many of them in Bastia, in Phillips Village, in Old Road, in Boyd's West Farm, Cotton Ground, Nevis, and elsewhere, the refrain of hopelessness resonated like a road march. Bus nothing, a go on for we. Today, of course, many things are happening for those persons. Put your hands together for a government that works for the people. Our country was down for the count, led by someone past his prime. It was a time of high debt, unsafe streets, expensive bills, and international shame. We were a pariah country by 2014, sanctioned by the USA and Canada, and the Prime Minister then hid the shame and ignominy of not having his diplomatic visit to the USA renewed by the US government. We as a people can never go back to that disgraceful time and leadership. On the team unity, our country has been recharged with vigor and strength, as well as an indomitable spirit and an unrelenting drive for excellence. We have much of which we can be proud. Our debt to GDP ratio is around 55%, the best standing by far among all independent states in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Put your hands together for that performance. We have achieved that historic target of a debt to GDP ratio of 60%, 12 years ahead of the target date set by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Talk about performance, we are doing it. The target date which our central bank has set is 2030. By 2018, St. Kitts and Nevis was already at 60% debt to GDP ratio. We have been adjudged the best in the OECS by independent and prestigious authorities on various indices, including Information and Communication Technology Development, the Rule of Law Index, our appeal as a cruise destination, and the strength and attractiveness of our passport. The Attorney General will be quick to remind us that the ICT Development Index, compiled by the International Telecommunications Union, headquartered in Switzerland, ranked St. Kitts and Nevis #1 in ICT development of all the countries within the region, and number 37 in the world of 176 countries evaluated. And we are doing more. You would have heard of the recent initiative at e-litigation, offering greater efficiencies and effectiveness in access to our courts. You will know by now that you can stay at home and in your office and renew your licenses with the Inland Revenue Department. The World Justice Project, based in Washington, D.C., ranked St. Kitts and Nevis #1 in the OECS on the rule of law among 126 countries in the world. Yes, time after time, your administration has demonstrated that we are serious about law and order and public security and safety. We are serious about the fiscal management of our country. That is why very quickly, as an act of discipline, we paid off the IMF $117 million debt inherited from the former administration. Yes, we are serious about improving efficiency and our country's performance across the board. Here are some findings about St. Kitts and Nevis in the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean report. This report was released on Friday the 13th December. I think that's the same day that we were paying our double salary. What a coincidence. But in the report entitled A Preliminary Overview of Latin America and the Caribbean, the following findings stand out. That we in St. Kitts and Nevis, we have the lowest central government gross public debt to GDP ratio at 39.1%, the best in the region. We have the lowest gross external debt in the region. We have the highest fiscal balance as a percentage of GDP at a positive 9.2% of GDP. Grenada follows a distant with a positive 5.1% ratio. And the ratio of the other countries in the region are near zero or worse, negative, such as Suriname, whose fiscal balance is negative 10.9%. St. Kitts and Nevis is best in the class. Our economic growth is better than most in the region, and it is projected to grow by 3.5% in 2020. We have one of the lowest inflation costs of living in the region, recorded by ECLAC at negative 0.4%. Cost of living then is trending downwards. Of course, we intend to greater support to farmers and fishers to ensure that more of what we consume are being produced here in St. Kitts and Nevis, creating earning power and jobs for our people. Indeed, it's of interest to note that we have one of the lowest tax, that is government revenues to GDP ratio. This is a clear indication that my administration is not overburdening the people. Indeed, you would recall that we removed the burdensome 17% VAT on food and medicine and educational supplies. On the Team Unity, the smallest independent country in the Western Hemisphere, defies limits and makes a big impression. Team Unity's world-class management has translated into St. Kitts and Nevis becoming a world-class destination. We have awards from the Caribbean journals, Caribbean Travel, which named us as the cruise destination for the year. And we also won the Destination Stewardship Award from the World Travel and Tourism Council. Let's give the Honorable Lindsey Grant and his team a round of applause. Such achievements and accolades send a clear message to investors across the world that the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is not only open for business, but we are also moving in the right direction on the path to becoming the economic hub of the Caribbean region in the near future. On the Team Unity, new hotel openings are expected this year, which will extend the season of hope and renewal in our country. Expected to open during the first half of the year are Ramada Hotel Phase 1, Koi Resort, and Koi Resort will come under the Curio Collection, an upscale hotel brand within the Hilton worldwide portfolio. Put your hands together for the advent of Hilton, another branded property to St. Kitts and Nevis. Already some 82 workers have been hired at this new Hilton brand in St. Kitts and Nevis as they prepare for opening in another couple of weeks. Do I get it right, Minister of Tourism? January. Well, he gave me the date, but I don't like to be too specific. So we shall see and you shall witness the opening of another branded property on the Team Unity. Of course, we are optimistic too that Tilloff at Widham will be opening soon, and the Seaview Hotel in West Barstow promised to open by the first half of 2020. Should all these openings be realized, we shall add some 700 brand new hotel rooms to the hotel stock, and with that bring over 1,000 new jobs in the hotel sector alone. Wonderful things then are about to happen and will continue to happen. Yes, there is much about which we can be proud, but our journey is only just beginning. Indeed, sometimes when you hear the idle chatter, you wonder if Team Unity has been there for 20 years. Let's count it correctly. We have been there for just going on 5 years. But for all the work we have done, we have heard one of our popular Calypsonian, Lord Rock, 5 years. We have done much better than 20 years. Give Rock a round of applause. In closing, I submit that only Team Unity can move St. Kitts and Nevis forward ever and backward never, and to a stronger and safer future. Of course, the government cannot do it alone. We need the commitment of everyone in this room, your friends and family, to help us continue the journey. Allow me to make a brief remark about our featured speaker. The life of our featured speaker, Dr. Freeman Rabuski III, is an inspiration. His is a life dedicated to building a better and brighter future for others by empowering them largely through education. That philosophy of the brighter future, of the empowerment of others, is in sync with the philosophy of the Team Unity administration. Dr. Rabuski, you are a true leader of empowerment, an example of selfless service, and a shining example that the future can always be better and brighter. Our cabinet will reflect the best examples of selfless service and strength of faith that our St. Kitts and Nevis can and must always be the example of the best managed small island state. I shall, during the next term as Prime Minister of this country, continue to spend every waking moment advancing the cause of my beloved St. Kitts and Nevis, to ensure that every boy and girl can reach their full potential and rise to enduring heights of glory in culture, in sports, in arts and craft, in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, entertainment, music, and literature. Indeed, there is so many who have inspired us. Kim Collins, Atiba Harris, and even Dawn here is one of the best MCs in the world. Let's give Dawn a round of applause. I encourage all of us to dream about the place of distinction for St. Kitts and Nevis, our place of distinction in the world. Beyond the dream, I encourage each of us to work together in unity for the realization of that dream. May God bless us all, and to him I give all glory. Happy New Year to all of you. Forward ever, backward never for St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you.